back to JSMR, and as you can already see by the wonderful display of watches that we have here, it is the video you all have been waiting for, the display of the JSMR watch collection. So, let's just go over this beautiful case real quick. I will slowly detail what I have in there before I take it out and describe each watch and its practical use in my daily life. And just to preface, I do have gloves on. Not that that many of these watches are very expensive or don't already have any fingerprints or skin-to-skin contact on them. That's just, I like the sound of the gloves, and I think it's a very nice touch to a video where you don't see my face necessarily. So let's go ahead and unclasp the case here. Let's straighten it out a little bit so it's looking good in the frame. And I do have my ring light up there as well. I apologize for any glare that might cause. I just wanted to make sure that I got some good lighting for this video. So, how about we start off with one of my main dailies. So, this actually isn't even really clasped onto the plush here. Very nice. I don't even know what you call these actually, but they're very nice. So, right here we have my Casio, and I believe it is the A158W. I always forget the model names of all these little, or of all the smaller digital casings. So, as you can see, we have a digital display here with the weekday and the date. And of course, zooming in here, you can see all of the little Casio text on the cover there. We have the water resist logo, as well as the Casio logo, alarm chrono, and the guide for each of the buttons on the side here. So, this has been my favorite daily watch lately, and it's because I have been home from work a lot. Now, well, I say that, but I wear this watch to work a lot as well, because it's something I can take off and put back on very quickly, which is something that I really need at work recently. I work in an environment that is not very supportive of jewelry, that is not very supportive of jewelry and watches, so sometimes it's nice to have a little watch like this that I can just clasp on and clasp off. Now, how the wristband works is you just clasp it right on. Oh, there we go, I just had to get it right there, and it took a little bit of my glove with it, unfortunately, but as you can tell, I do have a very small wrist, but that is why the clasp is actually adjustable. If you look in here, you can actually lift up this little part right here and slide the end of the clasp to wherever you need it to slide. So that's a very convenient feature for me, because I have a very, very small wrist, as you can see, and it fits very nicely on there. So, what else to say about this watch? Yeah, it really is a good daily watch. Whenever I need to just run out to the store real quickly, or, whenever I'm sitting at my desk and, want something comfortable that's, not too, what's the word I'm looking for? That I don't really feel that much on my wrist, but, I still just want to wear a watch when I'm sitting down and relaxing. This is a very good watch for that. And it's just a very nice casual digital watch that I can really wear anywhere. So yeah, I don't think there's much else to say about this watch. I think it's a very nice daily watch, and I will keep wearing it for many years to come. It's very durable. As you can see, it already has a couple of scratch marks here and there, but it actually is very, very hard to scratch. So I'm going to go ahead and put this one away and move on to my next Casio watch. Alright, so next up we have our Casio illuminator. So, for those illuminator enthusiasts out there, or I guess I should say, I'll just take this off of the blush before I unravel it. For those of you out there that own a Casio illuminator, these watch bands might look a bit off-putting, a bit unfamiliar, and that is because they are custom bands. They are not the ones my illuminator came with. But we'll talk about those in a second and why I chose them. So, as you can see here, the Casio illuminator has a world time feature. It has the little map right there. And as you can see, it is in my home time zone of New York. You can just barely see that shading right there on the camera. It's right there. There you go. And as you can see, I haven't quite figured out how to change the week date. It is Tuesday. The date is right. It is 8:13 today, as you can also see on my other Casio. But I haven't quite figured out how to change the week date, as it hasn't let me access that setting yet. But I will figure out how to do that fairly soon here. As you can see, it also has what seems to be some kind of compass or gyroscope. I'm still trying to figure out what exactly that is as I walk around with it on my wrist, but it does have a very beautiful digital display of the time here, as well as the date. So I've already worn this out on a couple of occasions, and it's been very nice. It's pretty thick, pretty bulky, a little bulkier than most of my watches. I think I have a couple of watches. I think the Seiko and maybe the Samsung, and I'm not sure if the Bulova right here is thicker than it, but it is a very thick wristwatch, so very, very nice. I do have these racing straps on here, and you can tell they are racing straps. Typically, racing straps will come with these little air holes on the side here, so your wrist can breathe. I thought the racing band style would look really, really nice with this illuminator, and when these straps came in, I don't think I was wrong. Maybe other people have opinions in the comments, but I think these straps look really, really good on this watch, and it makes it a lot more breathable, especially because, I mean for this watch to be more of a high-adventure watch that I wear on, like, hiking trips and stuff like that, and camping trips. I haven't been on a camping trip in a while now. Now that I mentioned that, I guess I should get back into camping, but that's something I'd really like to do. And along with this watch on my wrist, I feel like this would be really good for any kind of camping or high-adventure trip, and it's just a really, really beautiful watch for, daily use, light use. So that is my Casio illuminator. Let's put it back on the display here. Don't have it too tight, because some of these bands really, really dig into the holder here. Oh, looks very beautiful on there. I love it. So that finishes out our Casio watches. Next up we have our Timex. So despite this being one of the cheaper watches I own, this is actually one of my favorites. So let me go ahead and take it off the holder for you. And as you can already see, this watch uses nylon straps, what many in the watch community call NATO bands. I'm not sure why exactly they're called NATO bands, but it is a very catchy name for a nylon strap here. They are some of my favorite straps. I'm actually expecting a 10-pack of them in pretty soon that I will use on this watch, and perhaps the next NATO strap watch that I get. Of course, it just kind of goes through the loop there, so I guess you can really use these on any watch that has a mechanism with their own bearings here. As you can see here, this is a Timex watch, and it comes with their industry standard indigo press down on the crown, there we go, I remember one component name at least, it actually glows in the dark, and it's a very cool glow feature. So, another cool thing about this watch, despite how, I almost want to say bland it looks, I think it does have a very cool amount of numbers and, tickers on the side that show an accurate representation of the time, but it actually is my only watch that is currently audible. So, I'm going to hold it up to the microphone here. You can actually hear it ticking. It's very, very cool. So again, you have the nylon straps that hold pretty well. Has a lot of holes, a lot of bearings in the strap, so fits on my wrist very nicely, very adjustable. Whether I want it a little bit tight or a little bit loose, or just right, it has all of those adjustments for me. It's a very simple face. I usually use this watch when I am wearing something a little more casual, a little less formal, so to say. And it's a very nice watch for stuff like working outside or just being around the house. It's kind of like my A158W. So I really do like this watch. It pairs with that one really well. I kind of am able to use them interchangeably. And even though I haven't really worn this watch recently, it is a very good daily watch that I really enjoy using. So that is my Timex Weekender. Sorry, I forgot to say the model name at the beginning. It is the Timex Weekender, for those of you wondering. Let's go ahead and put it back on here. There we go. And then since there's so much strap loose, I like to just fold that through there when stored. Alright, so now that our first three watches are out of the way, those are kind of the cheaper, big brand name watches that are really reliable. So let's get into let's go with our last cheap watch. The top row of watches is much cheaper collectively than the bottom row of watches. So this watch right here is very pretty. I guess I'll unclasp it. I guess there's enough information about it that I can talk about it. So this actually is the only watch in my collection currently that does not have an official brand name. I was looking at buying a Jord for my wooden piece, but I ended up settling on something cheaper because I didn't really want to break the bank for a niche piece that I wasn't going to wear a lot. And that is this piece. I don't wear it with a lot of outfits. It is very bulky. It doesn't fit on my wrists that well, but it also doesn't have a lot of adjustment options. So I don't really wear it a lot, but it was a very cheap watch that I got. But it still looks very beautiful. I will admit I did impulse buy this. I really wanted a stylish wooden piece that, was very simple, had all of these carvings in them, and that just worked really well. Props to the whoever manufactured this for printing the maple leaf right here. There really isn't anything to say about this watch. It isn't engraved or anything. I might take it apart at some point if I don't wear it in the near future, but it is a very clean looking wooden piece, and I have it along with my collection, really just to have it. So let's put it back on here. So, for the bottom row, the beautiful bottom row here, let's start on this side with my Guess dual tone water this watch. Now, this watch is actually very interesting to go over on this channel because it was actually inspired by another ASM artist. And hold on, I'm going to pause the recording because I do want to shout her out. She made a very, very good watch video. Okay, sorry about that. I did have to find her. Her name is Cicada Whispers ASMR, and her channel's a bit bigger than mine, I believe, but definitely deserving of more attention. She made a very beautiful watch store roleplay with a very beautiful watch collection of her own. I really liked the watches featured in her video so much that I actually hunted one down and bought one of them, and that is the story behind how I found the Guess Waterpro dual tone watch. So, I actually wasn't able to find a newer model of one of these. I bought this one off of eBay, and as you can see, it has some blemishes on the dial here, as well as just some scratches all around on the model. Definitely very well loved by its last owner, even though I have worn it time and again by now, by the time I'm recording this. But this is one of my absolute favorite watches, even though it is just a cheap used piece from eBay. I really love the emerald green it has going on back there on the dial, and it's just absolutely beautiful. The two chronographs back there just add such a nice touch to the watch, and it's such an iconic watch, and paired with these glossy brown leather straps. I need to get a different pair of straps for these, or for this watch. As beautiful as these straps are, I want something even more glossy and leathery for it, because it's just a watch that's so stylish in my collection, and just works so well with, those brown leather straps. And, I just want to experiment a bit more with the straps on this watch. So I really, really love this watch and adore this watch, and it always gets compliments from my friends anywhere I bring it. So, that's an A in the book of, watches for me. So I'll go ahead and put it back and move on to my next dress watch. If I can figure out how to latch it. Will not go through. There we go. And then, as usual with my watches, I'll just leave it in there like that. Alright. And on to my first dress watch. I know it's been glaring with my light the whole time, but as I might need to unlatch this one before I take it off. So, let me give a little bit of a disclaimer here, and I think I have done enough to shy away all of the prissy watch enthusiasts from this video. But if any of them are still here, I will definitely get criticized for even having this in my collection, or even owning it at all. But this was my first dress watch, and it is just a casual Tommy Hilfiger dress watch. So, before I get criticism for having this watch, and many of you that aren't watch enthusiasts may be wondering, well, why would you get criticism for just owning this watch or wearing it at all? It looks like a very beautiful dress watch. It has a very nice glare. It has a very regal, slim look to it. It's genuine leather. It's Tommy Hilfiger. What is wrong with this watch? So in the watch community, watches like this that are made by fashion brands like Tommy Hilfiger, or let's say Michael Kors is a very good example of a fashion brand that doesn't specifically do watches but does make watches along with their fashion line. These are generally criticized for having inadequate movement systems. And of course you see there's no second hand here. It just kind of vaguely tells me I'm so sorry, I keep moving the tripod. It very vaguely shows the hour and the minute But I think it is a very beautiful watch. Of course, I've done a 360 of it. It is very, very beautiful. So let me explain why I have this watch. First of all, it was a very good price. I really wanted a nice dress watch, and I didn't know where to go. And I have a very, very, very soft spot for Tommy Hilfiger. I don't know what it is. I'm usually not a big fashion brand guy. I usually don't buy like all of the name brand stuff. Like, I would say at least half of the clothes I have in my closet actually come from Goodwill or other thrift shops that I go to. I am not a very big fast fashion guy, but Tommy Hilfiger is one of those brands that I just give it all for. I will buy anything that is Tommy Hilfiger, and that includes watches. This is a very beautiful watch, and I don't know if the camera does full justice to the blue glare on the dial, but it is so, so beautiful. There isn't much more to say about this watch. I just wanted to justify why I had it in the collection and give you a bit of a closer look of the beautiful Hilfiger dial and the etching at the back of the watch. So let's go ahead and put it back in. Also, this is my only watch that I have. I believe they're called Gator leather straps. These are very, very comfortable on the wrist. The watch a little less so because it's a little slimmer, and it sits very flat against my wrist. So sometimes when it's badly positioned or when I let it loose a little bit, the crown may dig into my wrist just a little bit, but that's the only glaring problem with this watch. I usually just wear it out to dinner or something, so it usually doesn't affect me that much. This isn't really a watch that, stays with me throughout the day, so, it's kind of whatever to me. Next watch is something I'm just so excited about. This. I'm going to be very careful with this piece because this is the only piece that is worth the amount that it is in my box. I might actually keep it on the, well, no, I'm not keeping it on. I actually do want to unclasp it for the video. Hold on, I'll take it off the pad here so I don't damage the strap. I am very, very, very careful with this watch because it comes with exclusive straps that I can't reorder, so I want to make sure I don't damage them. So this right here hasn't been shown on my channel, and I should have done an unboxing video when I got it for my birthday because it is a very beautiful watch. I did a collab with Peppered ASMR. He did a big 50,000 subscribers special. Congrats to him on 50K, by the way. I mean, 2 months late, he's already at like 60, but I'm really appreciative of the collabs I'm a part of. I unboxed this for his collab and did a little 3-minute segment of the video, but those 3 minutes did not do this watch nearly enough justice. So let me go ahead and stop yapping about that exciting collab and get on to detailing this beautiful, beautiful watch. This is the Bulova, it's a Bulova watch from the Frank Lloyd Wright collection, and it's celebrating the 100th anniversary of the Imperial Hotel in Tokyo, Japan. Now, as you can see, it has a beautiful peacock design on the dial here, which pays respect to the original design of the main building of the Imperial Hotel. And as you can see, right down there, it has the, if it can focus. Oh, please focus. There we go. Has the Frank Lloyd Wright collection stamp right down there at the bottom of the design. It has a very beautiful hex shape. The casing is very, very beautiful. I love this watch so, so much. Moving on to the back here, it has the Imperial Hotel mark markings. The 100th anniversary, 1923 to 2023, which is when this watch exclusively came out, and it has a beautiful etching of the main building of the Imperial Hotel, superseded by the Bulova logo right here, which looks very, very beautiful. And of course, it has all of your standard etchings, the model numbers. This is the so this is the coolest thing about this watch is this is the 590th model out of 1,000. That's right, only 1,000 of these watches were made, and I have one sitting in my hands right now. And that's not to brag or anything, I just think that's a really cool thing about this watch. This is a watch that I can truly call my own, and just something you really don't see every day. And of course, it also is water resistant and built with stainless steel. One of my favorite parts about the watch is the leather bands. So on this side, on the underside, and it's truly unfortunate that you can't see this when it's on my wrist, but it has these beautiful, beautiful peacock designs etched into the inside of the band, which is just so cool with the Bulova logo right here. And it just sounds, it's such a beautiful watch, and it has this navy blue leather on the outside stitched together, and it just looks so perfect. This truly is a perfect watch for me. It's not the most expensive material. It's not the most expensive watch. It is valued at about $500. I would not sell it for that. If any of you wanted to take this watch off of my hands, it would be a lot of money. It would be more than the watch is worth. So I'm just warning you now. If this is a watch that you really, really, truly want, it is not for sale through me. You are going to have to find it secondhand somewhere else. This truly is a beautiful watch, and I love this watch so, so much. And just truly is a piece I can call my own, and a piece I can always admire when it's on my wrist. So, just such an amazing piece from Bulova, and honestly, it inspires me to maybe buy another Frank Lloyd Wright piece. There are many beautiful Frank Lloyd pieces out there, and but personally, this is my favorite because, first of all, it's a limited edition. There's only 1,000, and it's personally what I would call the most beautiful piece in the collection. So let's go ahead and very carefully put it back on here. Let's latch it a little bit tighter here. Sorry, I try to be very careful with the straps so I don't bend it too much. Oh, and also, something else you will notice about the watch. And it will pick it up right here. Frank Lloyd Wright's signature is on the buckle right there. You can see it. It's so, so cool. I love this watch so much. So, so much. I don't usually fold it in because I don't like bending the straps too much. I haven't exactly broken in the watch yet, even though I have had it for a few months now. It's a very special watch that I only wear for very special occasions. So let's move on after a little break. So next up is a watch I am very, very excited about, and that is my Seiko triple chronograph. So I believe the model number for this specific watch is the STBR 024, and this is the one I unboxed about a month ago, I believe now. Month and a half ago. So of course, as you can see, I did end up getting those new straps. They aren't the best looking straps, I believe, but I feel like they fit my wrist a lot better than the straps that came with the watch. Even when I tried to resize the original Seiko straps, which one of my viewers very politely commented that I could do. I did know that I could resize these straps on this watch. I didn't want to spend the time doing it myself. I don't have really a lot of reputable watchmakers I know in my area. I live in a fairly quiet area, and I'm not sure if many watch technicians are around here that are able to reliably work on these watches. So I didn't want to risk it because I usually work on my own watches. But this is a very beautiful watch, as I stated in the review. So it has 3 chronographs here. As you can see, it has this chronograph here for the seconds. This chronograph here for, I believe, I can't really see it right now under the hands, but I can see that in a second. I haven't set the date to the correct time yet because these Seiko movement systems are so strange. I need to look at getting that fixed. But we do also have if you wonder why the supposed second hand is not moving, that's actually measured by the chronograph down here. What this chronograph is for is this. So it has a very accurate timer here, and this actually measures how many minutes the timer has been going. So it goes for up to an hour. It has a 60-second timer for up to an hour. You can reset it with that crown. So, very cool mechanism there. I really like it. I don't really have a daily use for it. I just, when I'm wearing, like, something more snazzy, or something like white, or something that really offsets the white straps here, I like to wear this watch. I think it's a very stylish watch, and, I kind of go for, like, a white and gold kind of thing with the straps, and, it has this very nice Seiko logo etched into the back here, and you also have the model number back there. It is water resistant, with stainless steel, of course, as all of the other ones are. You get a very beautiful glare in the dial there. Very beautiful glare on the Seiko logo. I love the Seiko logo. It's such an iconic watch brand. But that's really all there is to say about my Seiko, because I'll reset the timer there. And yeah, I might search for new straps for it, but I'm not really sure yet. I'll have to see if I find anything new. I just have to search a little harder for some straps that would go with a silver gold casing that the 024 model has. I really like these SBTR models, but I think the 024 is my favorite that I've seen online, and really why I got it. I really liked the outer casing, the gold tachymeter, and the gold crowns on the side here. Just such a beautiful watch, and something that I will not let go of for a very long time, probably until it breaks. Now, next up here, I have a very simple watch. So, my square casing here is from Klein. This is just a standard Klein dress watch. Now, what I was going for when I bought this watch was a square dial, or a square case, that looked very sleek and regal. So the reason I got this Klein watch specifically is because, well, Klein as a brand I've liked for a very long time. And what I was looking for with a square dial is this is actually a female watch, but that's okay for me because I have a very slim wrist. As you can see here, the slim watch bands, just look so good on my wrist, and it really complements the golden square dial. I might end up getting different bands for this if I'm able to switch them out. I'm not really sure how much I like the black leather, but we'll see. They are genuine leather bands, and also has that beautiful Klein lion logo on the back with all of the model numbers and the movement system, the water resistance, and the stainless steel back casing here. So I think I'm going to go ahead and put that watch away. There's not much more to say about it, but it is a very pretty little watch. Very rarely worn. It's just like my Hilfiger. It's kind of that watch that I wear out to dinner sometimes. If it can actually clasp itself here. Oh my gosh. Please, thank you. There we go. just kind of wear it out to dinner sometimes or to cool events or something like that. So, alright, and last but most definitely not least is actually the very first watch I acquired for this collection, all the way back in 2021 before I even started collecting watches. I was gifted by my awesome older brother this Samsung Galaxy smartwatch. So, as you can see, it's very, I feel like the dial is very resemblant of a diver's watch. It does have that awesome rotating dial, so you can interact with everything on the screen. The two buttons on the side, and of course, the sensor in the back. So I usually despise smartwatches, okay? And this is a very controversial opinion, I know. No shame if you like wear an Apple Watch and you're like not into watches. Like if you want something to track your fitness on your run or when you're at the gym, buy a Fitbit. But this watch is so sentimental to me. I'm sorry to switch up so fast, but you can see with all the scratches on the dial, even on the screen is so scratched up. It was my first watch that I wore consistently, and just, I love this watch so much. And it's only because, it was gifted to me by family, and I used it. This has seen so many places with me. It's seen New York City, San Francisco, Yosemite National Park. It's seen Canada. It's seen Ottawa, Montreal. Just not Montreal. Sorry, I went to Montreal before I got this watch, I think. But it's seen like some beautiful mountain ranges and some beautiful cities, and I truly have lived a lot of my life with this watch on my wrist. So for that, I will give it props. It definitely is not my least valued watch, but nowadays, ever since I became a priss about watches, I hate smartwatches, and that's all it is. I never use this watch anymore, and it sits and looks pretty in my case, and reminds me of all the fun times I had with this thing on my wrist. So, with that being said, I think that concludes the watch collection that I have for you guys here. I don't have much more to say about this collection. Of course, I went through all the watches. I detailed everything I like about them, everything I may dislike about them, and everything I use all of these watches for. So, with that being said, I don't really have much of an outro here because, you're really just finishing off with all of these watches in view. But I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I was so excited to make this, and so many people did ask for this. When I did leak that I had a watch collection. So, I don't know if I'll make another watch video anytime soon. I'm not planning on buying any other watches because I'm a bit tight on watch funds right now. But if I do get any more luxury watches or anything like that, I will do unboxing videos for those, and perhaps a update video for my ever-expanding watch collection. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. This is Jay Samar. Peace.